As a disclaimer, Monster Fuckers Anonymous is indeed about wanting to love and have sex with monsters, but we want to make things extremely clear from the get-go. The monsters we will be selecting will be sentient and able to consent. Not all of the chosen monsters will be sapient, but we will not be endorsing zoophilia or bestiality. Anthropologically, monsters all around the world, and media representations of them, have had many racial and sociological implications. We will be as transparent and ethical as possible, while also sex positive and mostly having fun.
Monsters. Creatures feared all around the world in folklore and myths. Terrifying beings such as the fiendish and frightening fae, demonic devils, sultry sirens, hazardous harpies, and countless chaotic creatures coming from crevices of every continent. As long as stories have existed, there's been one pressing question that has remained unanswered by scholars for generations. One powerful thought that has plagued our minds for millennia. Can we fuck these monsters? That is what we're here to find out today. Welcome to Monster Fuckers Anonymous.
Hello, one and all, to another fantastic, wonderful, excellent episode of MFA, aka Monster Fuckers Anonymous. A show where we talk about monsters, talk about their lore, where they're at, their appearance, and we rate them on a scale to know that if you should be able to have sex with this monster. Some are good, some are bad, some are mediocre, but all of them are sexy. I am your creative creature consultant, Cleric, and with me, as always, is our technical analyst, Joe.
Hey.
Every time it's just this ramp, I'm just like, yeah, let's start off the show bubbly and positive, and Joe just like immediately like takes out my kneecap in the middle of it. It's bah. But as you know, you guys know how the show works. I think at this point, take some monsters, we talk about all of that, and we're gonna get through some points of business in the beginning of the show, just as we start up. One is we want to thank our lovely supporters on Ko-fi. You guys have been amazing. We've actually, thanks to them, have funded our first $200 goal, which is amazing. So shout out to, I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your names. Or your usernames. I apologize. Shout out to Akima and Funzo Sorali for supporting us on Ko-fi so we can make some amazing content and be able to keep forward and keep this project going. If you want to be shouted out on the show or support us in general, please check us out at Monster Lover Pod on Ko-fi. That way, you can be on there, and we're also going to plan some content that will go exclusively on Ko-fi and eventually make it way up there. But all that other fun. So, with that point of business out of the way, squared away, zipped up, thrown in a bag, and thrown off a cliff, Joe, what are we talking about today?
I don't know.
What do you mean you will? We can't do baby talk intro for twice in a row. I'm gonna put a stop to that. We did it once, we can't do it again. But Joe, again, you don't have a topic?
Why is it only my responsibility to bring a topic to the show?
I don't do any work for the show. I hate doing work for the show, so I don't do any work. So you don't have.
I guess we have to end the show then. If neither of us want to do any work, then
I guess so. But wait, hold up. The ground is rumbling. Oh God, it's shaking. Someone's approaching. Is that Twitter.com's Living a Day?
Hello.
Oh, and I can't escape the baby voice. There's no escape.
Yes, hi, it's me, and have no fear, I come with baskets and baskets full of cuties, so I'm here to help you
cuties.
out.
What cuties are we going to talk about, Liv?
Well, hi, I'm Liv. You can find me on Twitter at Live in a Day. I use she, they pronouns. I am known as best girl, best pal, the cutest girl on the internet that you know. But I'm also known in some circles as something of a cryptid connoisseur. So I got a bunch of cryptid cuties. Hello.
Wonderful. Absolutely excellent. I love cryptids. Shout out to the Secret Saturdays. Absolute banger show that canceled after one season on Cartoon Network. That show was all about cryptids. All of them were sexy. You may be thinking, really? And I'm saying yes. that brings up a question, Liv. Why are you drawn to cryptids?
Oh, I think it's because, so as much of a bitch as I am, because I am a big baby bitch, you heard it here first. I don't like horror stuff. I don't like scary stories. I don't like camping. I don't like the dark. I famously one time almost got into a car accident coming out of a movie theater because it was really dark and lights flashed in my face and I thought it was a monster.
Where's the original point of this?
The point of it is I love cryptids and I love, like, to me, they're like one part hot monster, one part scary story. And it's like urban legend and like, they truly are, as like a folklore kid, like a Greek mythology kid, they are our modern mythology. And so I think that's like really cool and really interesting. And they're just really hot.
And who doesn't want to bang a story? You know?
Yeah.
So true.
So true.
Yeah, so true. But yes, so today we're going to be talking about cryptids. I have brought a cryptid to the table. Joe has brought a cryptid to the table. And Liv has brought a cryptid to the table. So we will go through 1, 2, 3, talk about them, rank them on the Popo scale. And at the end of the episode, we will have a ranking of 3 cryptids on how bangable they are. Now, folks, are you ready to dive right in?
No.
Yes.
Okay, Joe's not ready, so we will sit here, put the Jeopardy-like soundtrack, not Jeopardy itself, because that's trademark. Just put that on.
Joe, please. Joe, I brought a cryptid just for you. Joe.
Oh, okay,
Joe.
I'm ready.
You ready now?
Yeah.
All right, start us off then.
It's me?
Yeah, it's you.
Okay, cool. So despite Liv being afraid of the dark and monsters and scary stories and all of these things, I will probably be giving us the scariest one right off the top.
Ooh, yes.
Oh.
Let's go.
And we at MFA here are all about psychosexualizing our fears and what that means. Specifically, you're not my doctor. Get out of my emails. I'm fine. I'm going to be talking about the very common sleep paralysis phenomenon, the Hat Man.
The what?
The Hat Man is a sleep paralysis phenomenon wherein witnesses report seeing a shadowy, ghost-like entity dressed in a top hat, standing at the foot of their bed. Unlike a ghost, who might have visible facial features, the Hat Man is a shadow in the dark in its entirety. While sleep paralysis is most common in those who are young and sleep supine, the horror of being unable to move as a figure watches over you and does nothing is palpable. Many have reported that this entity feeds on terror and does not vanish. He simply walks away. Modern somnology explains sleep paralysis demons away as mere hallucinations. But are they?
You're banging your sleep paralysis demon. That's
Yeah.
basically what you want to do.
Yeah.
You want to turn the tables on what has once been something that is like paralyzing you to paralyzing them. So you top the demon. Top the demon that tops you.
No. Demon can still top me. That's it's not something we're twisting around necessarily. So has either of you experienced sleep disorders, sleep paralysis, sleep apnea, any of that sort of thing?
Only once in my life. And it was
Really?
absolutely fucking terrifying. Yeah. So, we can also cut this out because this is, I will try to keep the story short, but I have lived in what I believe to haunted houses more moments of my life than I have not. Most of the residences that I've lived in have had some sort of paranormal activity. And the last house that I used to sleep in, or last place I lived in, my lights would turn off all the time. And one time I woke up, could not move. I turned my head, and in the shadow, there was a little creepy creature hanging out, and I could only see the silhouette. And it wasn't sadly it wasn't Hat Man, because otherwise I would have wiggled over in bed and been like, hey.
Yeah.
But it was probably about 3 or 4 feet tall, and it had a really big head and really big ears. And then I just was like, please leave, in my mind. And then I rolled back over and went to sleep.
Yeah. That was Dobby, and that was your Harry Potter moment. And it's too late.
Shout out to J.K. Rowling haunts our dreams every moment. Fuck you, TERF.
That's exactly why I turned back around and went back to sleep. I was like, absolutely not. I'm like, my non-binary ass does not need this. Goodbye.
Yeah, literally.
Quick MFA PSA. We hate J.K. Rowling. She's a TERF. Never forget that.
So, Claire, are you just perfect? Never had any sleep problems?
I have like bouts of insomnia. So
Same.
I don't usually have like sleep paralysis. Like I don't think I've experienced these police.
Police.
I've had a bad experience with the police, but I don't experience sleep paralysis in any form, which is a blessing. I'm gonna call it.
Yeah,
it's not fun. From what I've that one time, it's not fun.
Yeah. I have been experiencing sleep paralysis since I was 10 years old, and that is certainly due to the fact that I had like a nasal cavity infection that I just decided as a child, I don't like the way the antibiotics taste, so I'm just going to stop taking them. So to this day, my nasal cavity, it's difficult for me to breathe as I'm sleeping. So whenever it's interesting because whenever most commonly people get sleep paralysis while on their back. And that's why it's so terrifying when people experience the Hat Man, which is legitimately a common phenomenon that a lot of people experience. It's this like hat-like figure. Just like being on your back and like only having this focal view be like assuming that you have like a view to your door as you are waking up in your bed and someone's just like standing in your doorway. Truly awful. But most of my sleep paralysis experiences have been me suffocating in my pillow, like just like on my stomach. So sleep paralysis has certainly always been a horrifying experience for me. But to turn this very strange niche podcast around on that concept, if I were to finally experience sleep paralysis, supine, and I would be able to, in my age, with my knowledge and having already psychosexualized Hat Man, I would be like, hey,
so
let's talk.
You know what? I love this because you know what this is at the core? Healing. This is healing. This is healing. This is taking your trauma and embracing it in the deepest form, which is affection.
Healing is not spreading your cheeks for Hat Man.
By your own definition.
You know what?
You've never had this. This is Joe's pain and experience to heal from. And if that means Joe takes those juicy cheeks and spreads them wide open for Hat Man, that's what they're gonna do. And we can't get in the way of that process.
And like I said, I'm most often prone.
What?
So
they just said they sleep on their stomach. Come on, back shots from Hat Man. Let's go.
Okay, let's center this back. Center this back. So, first of all, Hat Man. Is Hat Man's usual appearance like a gentleman, like having the big top hat?
It's a guy with a top hat and like a trench coat and just watches.
Here's my thing. And everyone who's been a long-time listener and who knows me, Cleric, knows that this is my immediate first thought and my problem with Hat Man. Hat Man's probably British.
Not this!
And so, it's an immediate knockoff every... No. So sorry to our British listeners. I apologize to all our British listeners except for Kez.
Clearly you're not.
So sorry to our British listeners, but I'm not going to let them colonize the idea of fashion, okay? They have taken so much from us as people of color. Like, just because Hat Man is slaying the fit does not mean he's automatically British.
No, yeah, exactly.
Okay, so then they are repurposing British attire to be sexy and paralyze you.
Potentially.
Okay. All right, that's with it. Then I guess the also thing because I'm trying to think of a personality for Hat Man, because we have their physical, they don't really have a physical appearance. They don't have a face from what the description was given. So they don't really have a face. So I guess you can faceless beings. That's not really anything like major. I mean, no face, no problem.
No problem.
I guess they also, the two follow-up questions I have with that is, one, do they have a corporeal body beneath, or is it just like a floating hat the suit and tie, and it's just like no thing there. In which case, you're bringing a ghost besides a sleep paralysis demon.
And what's is there a problem with that?
No, the movie Ghost has proven that.
Apparently, people have bumped into Hatman.
Okay.
And what Hatman most often is reported doing in response is just not doing anything, and then almost as if he didn't even like notice the sensation, just vanishes after staying there after bumping into him for a while.
Okay.
And certainly Hatman's a creep, probably. That's like, you know, that's a little bit given.
That's like cryptid territory. Cryptids are inherently creepy. They sneak around in the dark. That comes with the territory. And as somebody who likes space and relationships, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, you know.
Okay, so I think I'm trying to think of a personality for them, and this is the thought that comes to mind besides Posh is this thought of somebody who is very like, they're very distant, but they're also like in the relationship or in like the physical entity that you're having with them, they are like listening to you. They're being more like, they're watching for whatever like is making you like squirm in like the physical intimacy, and they're doing exactly that to make it like more so. So it's like this very intimate, like without even saying anything, because I don't think Hammond would even talk. It's just reading your body language and is doing what you like, is seeing how your body is naturally reacting and going for it to make you feel the best experience, which is hot. My negative to that is they're also somebody who will be physically and emotionally distant. So you'll be like, wow, that's amazing. And then you spin over and they're already gone. There is no after sex. There is no
Not a problem.
After talk, after nothing. Even when you're like, I'm trying to talk to you, they're ghosting you and then suddenly appear at 3 o'clock in the morning being like, you up? Standing before you, it's like, I'm up now, prone. So I guess.
Here's my argument against that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking this information and, you know, I've been accused, it has been alleged that I am a simp. I will not answer these allegations. Please get in contact with my lawyers. But I see this more as like the stoic, quiet type. You know, Hatman just appears when you have sleep paralysis and having this phenomenon occur to you. There is nothing that says that he is the cause of it. Maybe he's watching out for you. Maybe he's looking out for you. Maybe he's trying to make sure that you're safe while you're literally paralyzed, unable to move, you know? Maybe he is the kind of person that when you have conversations about your feelings, it's just like, and it's just a really good listener, very stoic, you know, wants to, always has space to hold for you. Like, you never have to worry about like, oh man, am I like trauma dumping on my partner? Like, what does Hatman think? Does Hatman think I'm annoying because I'm just sitting here talking about my day all day? No, he's happy to hear you. In fact, he's more comfortable being a listener than, you know, talking about himself. Maybe he's shy.
And sometimes you're tied up and someone watches over you very patiently as you're done. And then you wake up and everything's cleaned up already.
Yeah.
So.
And I love.
What you got? You can't just start the sentence and not follow it up.
I love being ignored.
Oh.
No, this is the answer. This is the brat answer.
This is okay.
This is the brat answer. I gotta go.
Exactly. No. Here's the thing. We're gonna drive to the Papa Soup, but I will say,
I think we're ready to dive in.
Yeah.
Neglect.
Neglect play is something.
Oh, neglect play. Yes.
Neglect play is something. That is something people like. Just like don't worry. After every MFA guest, we do recommend them to go to therapy, like we always do.
Yeah. Listen, I just want to be used. I don't see the problem with that.
Yeah, you know, possibility. Now, how possible it is to be with Hatman due to their location and their physical being? I think this is actually very possible.
It's pretty possible.
What's the percentage of people who suffer from like sleep paralysis? I mean, granted, it differs from person to person. Like, I only had my one shot and I missed it.
Yeah.
It's less than 8% of the population.
Which 8% is still a high number when
That's
you
a lot of
consider
people.
That's
like
true.
the population size.
Yeah.
So then that's about, you have about an 8% chance if you suffer from sleep paralysis to like see Hat Man. That's still a large amount of people. And then sometimes there's one-off moments, like Liv was saying, that it's like you have sleep paralysis one time and it might be Hat Man that one time. So I think it's very possible to see Hat Man. Is it possible to bang him with his personality? If you're going with the stoic type that just is like ignoring you while you get off, it's pretty possible.
Yeah.
With the personality. But if they're also, I think we have to factor something in with all cryptids that like we said, they're all weird creeps, and creeps are into weird things.
Yeah.
So they'd probably really be into the cosplay. I'm gonna give this an 8, genuinely.
I was also going to give this an 8.
I was gonna say 5, then you worked me up to 7, and I'm gonna say 8.
Yo, 888s across the board.
Hey.
Let's go. Hey, that'd be big in Vegas. No, it's 777s. Fuck.
Yeah, come on, honey.
I don't bet
Fucking
often.
idiot.
Attractiveness. How attractive is this monster due to their physical appearance and what they wear? Well, I'm going to let everyone else answer their number first before I get into mine.
It's just so general. Now, here's the thing. We love a tall king.
Yeah.
We do. So, and he seems well dressed, you know what I mean? And we love that. I'm going to give him a 7 because I feel like it's that thing of like, are you hot or are you just tall? Are you hot or do you dress well? So I feel like 7 is a good number.
Yeah. And if they don't have a face, which again isn't a big problem, but sometimes, you are, let's be real, you're attracted to somebody's facial features. So
maybe he's hiding an ugly face under that hat.
Exactly.
I thought you said maybe he's hung, and I was like, yeah, maybe.
No, he's definitely hung. Joe, I don't need to ask these questions. That's
yes. I was also going to say 7 for the same reasons. It's very much just, it depends on your Hat Man. Also, I'm seeing him fairly often, so
yeah. Hit us back after we're done with the recording tonight. Hit us back tomorrow and let us know if we need to update our scorecard.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for me, again, I think the big factor of like them not having a face and then maybe being like, you start like imagine like it's this thing where while there's no face there, like you can't see it, there's like a physical, like you can touch it and then you feel like there is a physical face there because you can bump into them. So you can like physically touch the face, but you just can't see it, and you feel their facial features, and their facial features feel ugly. That'd be horrendous.
Okay.
But my innate fear, and the one that prevents me from putting attractiveness at a high score, is the innate fear that they are British. So I am going to have to give this a 3.
A 3?
I am going to give this a 3.
I don't know. I'm fighting so hard for Hat Man. This is not my monster.
I will say
I
suits and
it.
ties, hot. A top hat, hot. I used to think in high school that one day I could rock a top hat. The answer is no now. The fear that Hat Man is secretly British is something I can't live down. So the attractiveness definitely drops.
Yeah.
All right, so 3.
Audacity. How audacious it is to try to be with this monster. I think this is actually very audacious. Genuinely. The reason being, this is your sleep paralysis demon. And a lot of people who suffer from sleep paralysis, though I am not one of them, sleep paralysis is usually very, like, some people find it very traumatizing, and then also very, like, you're stuck. You can't really move.
Yeah.
So then, like, you have to try communicating with, unless Hatman can read your mind, in which case that's even more creepy and even more of, like, a eldritch horror being Hatman.
But it's also hotter.
Yeah. I will say also, there's something very, I think, inherently... I don't know if I really want to say this, but I'm going to. There's something inherently sexual about sleep disorders. And what I mean by that is specifically sleep paralysis and different stages of sleep. I've read up like truly like a beginner level amount about sleep disorders, but with sleep paralysis, your body hasn't woken up yet, but your mind has. Your brain has woken up before your body has. So that's certainly where the feeling of like being stuck is, and the concept of demons or spiritual attacks or possession, like sleep paralysis demon, linguistically, historically, comes from that concept.
Like succubi and incubi and concubi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Who's not to say Hatman isn't a concubi, guys?
You know,
Just very well dressed. But yeah, I'm hearing you, Cleric. I was gonna say this is fairly midway. I think this is a 5 just because it depends.
also,
Depends on your
I will
experience.
say, in everything we've talked about, and I think this also gives a point to something, the personality trait that Liv brought up of Hatman. I don't think we've talked about Hatman doing anything like you see Hatman and then Hatman like takes your toes or some shit like that.
Exactly.
Hatman just like stands there, is creepy, and this kind of fucks off. So I don't think that's like as bad, or it's creepy but not like horrendous as creepy as other cryptids might be. So
Yeah.
I'm going to give this a 4, I think, for audacity.
And it's the lower the number, the more audacious.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I'm with Joe. I think a 5. Because, like, yeah, a 5 feels right.
All right, yeah, that's pretty good, Orcus. And finally, the answer, or the final one of the Papa score is parental approval. Would our Christian immigrant parents in the world that we are set in, that Hatman is set in, which I guess this would be the real world, would our
Hey,
Christian
Mom and
immigrant
Dad.
parents approve of Hatman?
My boyfriend's a ghost.
Well, okay.
What is Christian? As Christians, how do you feel as ghosts? Bad? Oh.
I just want the record to show that my Mexican mother was raised Catholic and she believes in ghosts more than I do. So, you know.
Yeah. I think how we should take it with this question for the rest of the cryptids is, if cryptids were more or around, people could understand that cryptids were a real thing, or not a real thing, but more of like, they're more common. There's like more active sightings of them, and everyone's like, it is more of a regular thing. And then so they would know of Hatman if you brought Hatman home with their physical appearance and their personality. Would your Christian immigrant parents approve? Mine would not.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say that a lot, the mine would not, but, again, they have no face, they have no body picture, and they don't talk. Hatman doesn't talk. Hatman's just going to be sitting there, I don't even think breathing heavy every time they're having a conversation. They'll be like,
No
so
sound.
what do you do for a living? And Hatman's just be, okay, Andres, first of all, he's a man. Second of all, there's no interaction. What are you doing? He's like, well, he neglects me. It's like, okay, we have this here.
To which I would turn it back to my parents and be like, maybe you should look inward on that one. Maybe you should self-reflect on
Take some notes.
why
Maybe this is your fault.
I am interested in that. Here's the thing.
Gaslight gatekeep, let's go.
Yeah. I'm about to girl boss my way through this answer. I love lying to my parents.
Me too.
And the way around this, it's a long distance relationship, baby. We only see each other every now and then. We hop on the phone and we talk late at night while I'm laying in bed. Long distance relationship. That's easy. Easy approval.
So what number would you give? What are you thinking?
I would give an 8 because my mom would want to talk to him on the phone. That's the only reason why it's not higher. I think I could lie and be like, he's shy and he doesn't want to, but he says hi, and my mom would be like, okay. So anyway, mija, and I could get out of it.
I think for the same reason he's logged into 5 or 6 for me, because I don't remember what I ranked other monsters depending on the well, we can long distance it. We can just lie to our parents and get away with it. But I think it is more possible than not possible, because most of the time I'm really not even seeing my parents. So I think we're going to go for 6.
Oh, let the record show that this is the only monster I think I can long distance relationship lie my way through.
Yeah.
The others, no.
I'm going to give this a 4. One, I immediately have to give this a 5 out of 10 because, again, Hatman is a man, and if I brought a man home, I'm being disowned. The second part would be just like, if we got through the door, Hatman would just be sitting there like breathing heavy, and I don't think my parents would fuck with that. So I'm going to give that a 4 minus 1, so 4. So with that, we have all of our individual scores ready to go. We are going to pause for math in order to get our overall scores. So, Kez, now that we've paused for math for our overall scores, Joe, can you let us know what we got?
All right. So, Cleric, you got a 4.8.
Okay.
I got a 6.5. Liv got a 7, which makes the 3 of our overall score being a 6.1.
Okay, 6.1 for Hatman is pretty high. That lives up on the list.
I'm not going to lie. I'm absolutely going to ruin your averages because there's no cryptid I wouldn't fuck. Well, almost any.
See, now I'm curious of the one that you aren't.
I'm not down for the Lockies, the Nessies. Yeah, and I think Bigfoot's really boring.
He is. I'm sorry for all you Bigfoot stands out there. I know there's one person listening with Bigfoot. They're wearing their Bigfoot shirt, have a Bigfoot flag, their hat. There's a bunch of posters of Bigfoot on the wall. You just heard us say Bigfoot is boring, and you're immediately throwing your headphones on the ground, crying, stomping your Bigfoot merch, your Bigfoot giant feet, just crashing them down, and be like, "No, he's not, but he is." Put your headphones back on and listen to the rest of the episode.
So no feet?
No feet? But with that, I think we got our score for the heinous Hatman, 6.1. So, Liv, you got a taste of the episode?
Yeah.
You got an idea what it is? You ready to? Why don't you introduce us to the monster you have chosen?
Okay. I have chosen the Goat Man. A true North American cryptid, the Goatman has been spotted across the United States, and rumors of his jaw-dropping appearance vary. This gorgeous monster stands anywhere between 6 and 8 feet tall, with intense, glowing eyes and proud horns perched on his head. His strong humanoid torso is covered in thick hair that trails down to powerful goat-like hind legs. Known to lord over bridges and roads, the Goatman is feared by many. Nonetheless, those curious or enamored can seek his company by driving onto his bridge, turning off their headlights, and honking 3 times. If one is lucky enough, the Goatman will leap on top of your car and answer your call.
You've made Goatman sound hotter than he is, I think.
No, I think that's inaccurate. I believe that if you check the records, I portrayed him accurately. So there's like a couple of things I left out. There's the fact,
do you want to tell us? Do you want to tell us what you left out? You tell us.
There's the fact that there's some rumors that he likes to carry an axe, and there's some rumors that he likes to attack animals, and he's maybe a little bit of a lover's lane killer. But I think that's because he's lonely, and I know that I can fix him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I may, if
No,
if
you
no,
can't.
no, all right. That's the end of the episode. Thank you so much, Liv, for joining us.
Woo! 10 out of 10 out of 10.
But if I may, the description that you gave me this image of who Goatman is. One, Goatman is a loser who hangs out on a bridge and is just sitting there, just like, "Where my bridge people?" kind of vibe. But then you just described that he is a lover's lane killer, which is somebody who murders couples that go out. So I'm sorry if I'm the one to say this about sexy Goatman. You've described an incel.
And I think you're just simply wrong.
So here's the thing. These are alleged rumors. There's never been proof that he has killed anybody. It is just what people say about him.
Well, my counterpoint to that, and this is all with constructive criticism.
Yeah. I'm not taking notes, but go ahead.
Yeah. All cryptids are based off rumors. So if there is a rumor that this Goatman is a lover lane is an incel, then we gotta take it. Put it to bed. You got a 6 foot tall hunky goat man who probably has cum gutters, but you also take that he's on r/brain cell typing out maybe the Riddler was right. You have those two. You have to weigh the pros and the cons.
I can deprogram him. Listen, he's just he lives. I can change him. He lives on a bridge alone, and yeah, that's a little sad. But it's nice to know that he is a proud homekeeper. That's his home. And if you are sitting out, there's something. Okay, cleric. You come home from a long day of work, and you open your front door, and there's just 2 college students just absolutely going at it on your couch. They're making out, they're getting nasty, and it's like, bitch, you don't pay rent here. Would you not be mad if somebody was just fornicating all over your house?
fornicating.
My counterpoint to that was my entire college experience. I literally lived with a couple who had sex on our couch, and I walked in, and they kept going, and I just went about my day because I had shit to do.
Maybe you should have taken lessons from Goatman. I'm not saying you should have killed your roommates. I'm just saying that you should have been assertive.
I'm a bottom, Liv.
Well, clearly he's not, and that's another win for me.
Joe, you've been pretty off in the distance here in this conversation. What are your thoughts on Goatman here?
No, Liv is right, and the Goatman is sounding very reminiscent to Baphomet, and we already know.
Thank you, Joe. This is the other reason why I brought up Goatman. This was a secret inside job. This was a Trojan horse. This is actually me, a Demon stan, a Baphomet fan, coming forward for a second chance. We're back at the bat.
Oh my God, Baphomet! No, y'all have to get over Baphomet. I'm saying this to you guys. I'm saying this to the audience. All of you have to get over Baphomet. Baphomet is currently our worst ranked monster. Baphomet is sitting at a 2.3 or something.
Okay,
Baphomet is our worst ranked monster, and that's where he's staying. I'm not any advocacy for Baphomet. He stays at the bottom. He is our worst ranked monster. He deserves to be there. I do not apologize for the score I gave. I don't apologize for shit. He stays at the bottom. He deserves to be at the bottom.
Here's the reasons why, though, Goatman isn't Baphomet. One, a reasonable size. Rumors say 6 to 8 feet tall. That's more reasonable. Two, he does not have he doesn't have the same primal hunting, I'm going to chase you down and he doesn't come unless you call him. You have to be hello, Mr. Goatman, I'm here. Otherwise he won't show up. So he's a little bit more polite than Baphomet. Yeah.
Again, first of all, I had to drive my car, turn off my lights, sit on a busy bridge, turn off sit all of this to get ready, prep my butthole to be I'm ready for you to come on down.
Okay, you're acting like prepping your butthole isn't already this out of the hooking up with Goatman agenda. Sitting there parking your car and honking your horn is the easiest thing. It's much easier than prepping your butthole.
People have went through crazier hoops to have sex with a man that looks like a goat. So,
you know what? You're right. Possibility.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's that possible. The reason being, one, you have to drive out to his own bridge, park there. He's only on one bridge.
Not true. He has appeared in multiple bridges and multiple roads across America.
Cleric, he's in Maryland.
Oh.
Yeah. He's also in Texas, which is where I am.
Louisiana.
Yeah, he's in a couple of different places.
Okay. Then I take that part back. You just have to find one of the right bridges that he haunts. Sit there, turn off your car. If you have a car, some of us don't.
There is an alternative method, but yes.
And what is the alternative method?
You knock 3 times on his bridge.
But sometimes he doesn't show up. There's a whole BuzzFeed Unsolved episode where he just doesn't show up and they dance on his bridge. And he lets 2 people disrespect him on his bridge actively, and he does nothing. They didn't
ask him to sign a release form. He wasn't going to show his face without a release form.
No, that's how I know he's an incel. He saw 2 people on his bridge and were like, I talk a lot of shit online, but now we have to back it up. 4. I think this is a 4. I
think that this is a solid... Honestly, I think this is a solid 9 because the locations that there are maybe about I want to say 5 or 6 locations in specific parts of America where that you can go and do a ritual and Goatman will... Okay, actually, no, I'm going to do 8 because he has to decide if he has to be there. But I'm just saying there's very specific locations. It's not like some previous monsters where it's not like you have to have a specific sleep disorder. It's not like you have to wander into a weird cave. Homie has put his location. He has dropped a pin. You know exactly where to find him. It's just whether or not he will show up. So, you know what? 7.5. You've talked me down to a 7.5.
I'm glad I got that 0.5 out of you.
I'm stubborn. I'm a Sagittarius sun, baby. I don't know what you want.
It's looking like this is also... I'm going to go the 8.
Oh.
I think I'm going to go the 8 because at first, before Liv's amazing speech monologue about the goat man and his accessibility, I was like, not sure, but listen, there's probably a Snapchat geo filter out there for Goatman's bridge location, and honestly, that's very kind.
Oh, what if it would be the kind that you like? It pops up little goat horns in your photo for the filter. Oh, that's so cute.
Okay. Attractiveness. How attractive this monster is. Liv, would you like to start with your... Would you like to start with your score?
This man is so fine. Okay, this man is so hot. Are you fucking kidding me? I admit it. I have a thing for horns. They're the kind of ones that loop so you get a good grip. I have a thing. Mwah, mwah. I also have a thing for like half humanoid on top, half animal-esque on bottom. Minotaurs, satyrs. He's very satyr-like. He's very...
Yes.
Yes.
This monster has everything. Now, it is a goat, and I do think that I do have to bring up another part of his story, which is he is known to make high-pitched squealing noises like somebody on this call. But as somebody who's been described as a screamer, I don't think that's a problem. I'm just saying, I'm exposing a lot of myself on the internet today. Let's go.
Shout out to MFA. That's what we do here. Okay, so what is the number? You haven't given us a number here.
The infinity. He's so hot. He's so tall.
1 to 10. 1 to 10.
I'm gonna give him a 9. It also has like glowing, intense eyes.
You can give Goatman a 10.
You know what? I'm not gonna be back. Let's do it. A 10.
Okay.
I'm definitely not coming back after this. Cleric won't let me come back.
That is right. I've banned every guest that's come after here. Every guest that doesn't agree with me gets banned. Joe?
So I will say, I feel like I don't want to give the 10 away right now necessarily.
That's fair.
It's very high, but I think it will be an 8 just because I don't like driving that much. But I will probably make the effort once I, really, get my tires fucking checked.
Get those brakes ready.
Get those brakes,
Now, here's what I'll say. As somebody who shit talked about Baphomet a lot, I did. Won't deny that.
You did.
I, as somebody who's also really into noise when things are happening, screaming's not the worst part. Actually, it's the goat screeching, can make it work. I think, in all honesty, I have to give the score as I give 9.
Yes, that's fucking right. Let's go.
Listen, he's got cum gutters. He's fucking. I like horns. I like.
And he's running through the forest, so he's fucking ripped.
I like the horns aspect of it, of pulling him in. It's all good. I was gonna give him a 9 no matter what, to be honest. But that doesn't mean I'm not gonna give him for audacity. How audacious it is to get with this monster. This is a 2. This is very audacious. You gotta drive your car. You gotta park on a fucking busy bridge. You gotta sit there. You gotta knock. You have to do 8. You have to have a how-to guide in order to summon fucking Goatman, and he might not even show up. And then if he does show up, because he's an incel, he might murder you. Because he's like, you want to have love? And curl you.
You know what? As much as I am a Goatman stan, I do see where you're coming from, because even if you do get all of it done, all of the rituals done, and you're there alone, there is a moment where you have to be like, no, please don't kill me. I'm just here for you. Whatever you want, whatever you need, baby, I got it. And that is a pretty audacious thing to do. So it's very it's very Beauty and the Beast kind of audacity.
So what you got for a number?
Because you gave it a 2.
Yes.
I'm gonna give it a 4, because there is a part of me that thinks he's just lonely. I think he's just a little jealous. It's yes, it is incel behavior. But I can change him.
Some people are alone for a reason. Joe,
I'm gonna go 3, just right in the middle of the both of you. I
Mhm.
do think that, honestly, I'm a pretty lazy lover, but I'm not inflexible.
Mhm.
that's a pretty good score. Now we're going on to parental approval. Would our Christian American parents approve of this monster? The answer, again, for a second time this episode, no.
Yeah.
The reason being, es un
Yeah.
demonio.
Yeah.
Es un demonio. It's brujeria. It's a demon. You're basically, which is also like, you've picked the demon of all like, it looks like what Lucifer, like a goat head. That's everything that they hate. That's Satanism.
And
My
he has
parents-
like the man suffix.
Yeah. So they're
Yeah.
homophobic and anti demon. So this is, I have to give this a 1. I think I legitimately have to.
Damn, this is the one.
I mean, it hurts me, but that's not you speaking, that's your parents speaking. So I get that. I understand.
What the fuck is this?
Acceptance. I know, it's strange. It's a strange thing to have coming at you for the first time, but it's
Yeah.
acceptance.
First time.
I'm not having any more guests on this show. I'm vetoing every guest that comes on this show now.
Joe, what do you think?
It's a 2 or a 3.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how hard I can lie in this case, just because, like, if we're going, if Hatman is a 6,
Mm-hmm.
Hatman is certainly more approachable / accessible than Goatman. You have to go out of your way for Goatman, but Hatman goes out of the way for you. We can just say, oh, he's a hiker. He loves going out. He lives in the woods or something. So that's why you can't see him all the time.
He's really into bridges. He's a bridge
really into
guy,
bridges.
which is also would be weird. Your parents being like, "What's he into? Bridges? Like that's it." Yeah,
You
he's just
could say that he's
bridges.
into construction, and then all of a sudden, like, oh my God, wow, that's a good job. There's unions in that. There's benefits in that. That being said, I also do think parental approval is low. And here's my reasoning. You're gonna be out late. Because it's not just like staying up late. It's like physically going out, driving, spending time with your lover, and then driving home. That's a lot. And it's all done probably in the middle of the night. And eventually people are going to notice. Why do you have bags under your eyes? Why are you falling asleep doing work? Like, are you okay? What's going on? And you can only lie so far, so much. So I do think I'm probably going to say. And then when they do find out, it's like, excuse me, you're dating a demon? And then you're like, well, no, he's a goat. You're dating a goat?
Just misunderstood.
Yeah. So I'm going to probably go with a 2, actually. I have to. It's just logical.
I'm gonna go 3 because I'm just gonna cut down the 6 from Hatman
Mhm.
because I think we can fix him, Liv.
We can fix him. We can fix him. We can deprogram him. We'll introduce him to some nice people. You all bring your monster partners. We'll have brunch, and then we'll go to trivia.
Exactly.
And then, you know what? I'm sure he knows a lot of weird history facts.
Yeah, a
Been
lot
around
of
that
World War
bridge
II
a lot.
facts, a little too much.
No!
But with that, we got all of our scores together. It's time to go to our overall scores. So we will pause for math. So Joe, what is our overall scores for Goatman?
Well, Cleric, you fucking freak.
Okay, wow,
Your overall score is a 4.
that's fine.
My overall score is a 5.5, and Liv's is a 5.9.
Mhm.
So altogether, our scores overall for Goatman is a 5.1.
A 5 point, that is just above average of our average
Yeah.
monsters, which, I guess is fine. But you know what? Still better than Baphomet. Still better than the bottom of the fucking list. Baphomet. He's never moving.
I came here to represent the demonic goat-like people to show that there is depth and range and that we should all bring them into our lives. And I feel like Goatman getting over 5, just barely, I have achieved that. D's get degrees, everybody, okay? That's how I got through college.
That's so true. Same here. D's got degrees.
Word.
So that wraps up our conversation of the gorgeous Goatman. It's time for our final monster of the episode. I've brought the monster I have chosen. One that is, I think, one on the more famous end of cryptids. Okay, I want to say this. As a little, meta joke for everybody watching here. Kez, who is both British and I think atheist, has started praying. As soon as I started fucking speaking my sentence here. So I don't know how I feel about how this conversation is going to go for me. So you can play holy music or whatever you want in the background while you were fucking doing that. But the monster I have chosen, the cryptid of my choosing, is... On November 15th, 1966, in West Virginia, two young couples saw the sight of a creature staring at them through the trees. What they saw could be described as a 7-foot-tall, gray creature with a 10-foot wingspan and bright, red eyes. The creature flew at 100 miles per hour, but could barely walk on land. Many people dismissed the claim until more and more sightings started to happen, which all came to a head on December 15th, 1967, when a bridge collapsed, taking the lives of 46 people. Witnesses of the collapse say that before it happened, there stood the creature staring with their bright, red eyes. Many now attribute the monster as a harbinger of disaster, a being that senses whenever tragedy will strike, only known as Mothman. Mothman!
Mothman.
Mothman.
What a cryptid episode with that Mothman.
Mothman.
Lots of men in this episode.
A lot of men.
A lot of men. We're the women cryptids, am I right?
I will say, to be fair, because they're cryptids and like folklore and shit, we don't know what the genders of these cryptids are, actually.
That's very true. We just associate it with that.
Yeah.
We gave them genders. That's rude of us.
Yeah. I think that's something to say about the American folklore, because a lot of these were American folklores.
Yeah.
Maybe American folklores are inherently misogynistic.
I did think about doing Bloody Mary, and then I was like, nah.
British.
Also, let it be known that I thought that Cleric was doing the Jersey Devil, so I was so ready to come in here and be like, you're picking a Kyle! But,
As somebody who lived in Jersey, I don't ever want to talk about New Jersey. I will say, okay, let me bring up some things about Mothman. One, Mothman sightings have been very rare as of recent. That's something I do want to bring up. But Mothman is kind of this mysterious creature, mainly located in the main sightings have happened in like West Virginia, like Point Pleasant kind of vibe. So Mothman stays around there. But because of like the bridge disaster that happened, that they thought they saw Mothman there, Mothman has then been attributed to being like, hey, right before a big disaster, Mothman, you can see Mothman flying, and they're like people who take photos and like, there, you see Mothman in the background. And there's the ones that they brought up was like Chernobyl. They're like photos before Chernobyl, you see something flying in the air, and that is like Mothman flying through, like saying like, warning, something's about to go down. So anytime you see Mothman, it's not really it might not be a good time for you. So
I just think it's really interesting because, like we said, cryptids, they're all going to be levels of creep. You know, Joe brought an Edward Cullen-esque stalker. I've been accused of bringing an incel, and you have brought us a doomsday prepper. You have brought us it is 1999, Nostradamus predicted the end of the world. You picked I'm deep in Reddit, putting all the pieces together with my string board and my string and my conspiracy board. You have brought us a doomsday prepper.
And what's not good about always being prepared?
The fact that
you don't have a go bag. I have a go bag just in case something
that someone with OCD and anxiety would say.
Maybe you two are meant for each other.
My undiagnosed OCD aside, I guess he would be a doomsday prepper. I guess he would. He comes at disaster. He's like, no, I would say he's a doomsday prepper. He's a doomsday seer. Like, he's like, okay, this is going down. Here's the warning sign, everybody. You have a chance to turn around to evacuate.
Which is even worse. Yes, it is. Ow. Because he has the energy of somebody who is like running through Times Square being like, oh, the world is ending. Like, he has Chicken Little energy.
Yeah.
You're dating Chicken Little.
Here's the thing. Chicken Little was right. Chicken Little was right.
You're dating Chicken Little.
Chicken Little was right. and nobody listened to him. And guess what? This guy did fall on their ugly little heads. So maybe they should have listened, and like they should have listened to Mothman.
But
I
there's
will say,
Yes, Joe?
I will say, who, honestly, the four horsemen of death, of the apocalypse, rather, very attractive concept. Who's not to say that the Mothman is not just one of them?
Exactly. The
That's
horsemen prepping
fair.
us. I will say, so I had a personality besides a doomsday prepper in
Okay.
mind for, which is a good one. That could be like an angle for Mothman. Another one that I thought of is because after the book collapsed, there weren't that as many sightings of Mothman, but that's because Mothman got more popular. So a book was published in 1975 that really pushed out the Mothman mythos, and that made a whole bunch of people flood Point Pleasant, where Mothman was usually at. And because of that, it became like this big tourist attraction. There's a chrome statue of Mothman there. They even now hold a Mothman festival every September. So you can go to this town in September and have there's a Mothman museum, there's a Mothman hail bale ride, they do like Mothman rides, there's a Mothman costume. So there's all these people. So my thought of Mothman is this. I bring it up for this. Because Mothman is somebody who saw two lovers, because it was two couples sitting in a graveyard making out, and he was like, hey guys, it's not safe to be out here. They saw Mothman, got scared off, spread the news. He was just going around making sure disasters weren't happening, be like, hey, maybe don't go near that cliff. Who's that big fucking moth back there? And he got scared and he ran away. He was just trying to help him out. But then he got super famous, and now there's billboards of you, and you're like, I guess I don't want to even go out anymore. And now he's too shy. He's just a shy guy. He'll just try to warn people. He's now shy. There's a whole festival. How'd you feel if you walked out, saw a couple, and was like, hey guys, maybe don't go near that cliff, and they got scared, and then suddenly there's a festival with all of your face plastered everywhere. You wouldn't want to go out there either. You wanted to be there and be like, hi, I'm the Mothman that you're all celebrating, and looking at all that.
Okay, yeah. You're describing a hermit. Whether you go here, because here's the thing, we have two ideas and they both converge at one point, and that is a shut-in. Somebody who's famous and just can't handle the fame, and so they're going to lock themselves indoors, or somebody who's a doomsday prepper and it's like, the world is too much and it's scary and we're all going to die, so I'm going to lock myself in my bunker. You're describing a shut-in, regardless.
I'm describing, if we're taking this in a modern sense, I'm describing two different people. I'm describing an agoraphobic, which is a real condition, and that can somebody that you can. That is fair. That's something that he's got to deal with, and we gotta move through our relationship with his big fucking meaty moth cock. But the second thing, is I'm describing every Twitch streamer. I'm describing Mothman's just a Twitch streamer.
Hey,
I imagine
Google,
Mothman with their moth thing.
Do moths have cocks?
Big cock. Also, Cleric, you're a Twitch streamer.
Check out my VTube channel.
Wow, this Google search went a different direction. I'm putting my phone aside.
I feel like I just derailed this whole conversation.
No, it's okay.
Which I don't apologize for.
Oh, well, okay. So we have famously talked about how we don't know the gender of these creatures, let alone their genitalia. But this is what I will say. Moth male genitalia, they're actually switched. So they don't have cocks, they have internal chambers, and it is female moths who do the penetration.
Oh, so you gotta top him.
If he has more, if he's got an internal chamber down there. I'm just saying, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
there's a variety in there.
That's a switch of dynamics. It's pretty hot. You guys want to dive into possibility?
Sorry. I didn't mean to start talking about insect anatomy.
No, it's happened.
We've talked about it. We've talked about horse cocks and the anatomy of going into a human vagina before.
Yeah.
Sometimes I regret the information that I've learned for this show.
It's still power.
It's because you try to. I've had a normal conversation with somebody where I describe the things that we talk about on this show, and the person has stopped talking to me since.
So
Possibility, baby.
How possible it is to get with Mothman? It's a low possibility.
It feels pretty.
It's very low.
Mid to low.
Yes, Mothman, there have been very few sightings. I think the most recent was in 2016, but even then, that one was like a very iffy one. He only really shows up at disasters, so unless your life is a living disaster like it is mine.
It's 2022, so...
Actually, you know what? I'm going to come out and I'm going to say a 1. Because it's not just that he's never around. It's that when he is around, like, you're not going to be... Like, you're going to be running for your life. Like, it's a bridge collapsing. Okay. Like, you're not going to be okay. Yeah. It's a bridge collapsing. It's a radioactive, it's like, fucking fuckery. Like, and all of a sudden you're running and you're like, oh, what's that in the sky? Ooh, that ass. No, that's not going to happen.
I mean, yeah. Have you heard of, like, the suspension bridge effect where, like, something like intense happens, your heart's beating fast, and that's when love is triggered? It's the suspension bridge effect. So a disaster's happening. Maybe Mothman's looking for the suspension bridge effect. He comes in, he's giving you this warning, you're like, oh my god, my life's in danger.
That's a red flag.
Sexy fucking
That's a red flag. That's a red flag. One of the worst relationships I ever had in my life was somebody who only wanted to be there for me when I was having a crisis. So the only time that they would ever be there for me and show me affection was when I was having panic attacks. So this is toxic. So yeah, I'm going to go with a 1 for toxic Mothman.
That's pretty fair.
Yeah.
I'm fine, by the way.
No, I feel you.
That's his eyes, though. Your attire was like wide-eyed, just like...
Kels was like, do I need to pause this recording?
I'm gonna go 3.
Okay.
Because I believe in giving chances.
I, too, will give this a 3. I don't think, again, Mothman doesn't go out often. Maybe agoraphobia, maybe sinus, maybe just like only looks for disasters and there's not a disaster big enough and he's looking for the biggest disaster to hunt. Very rare. Doesn't come out much. 3. Attractiveness. Now, I don't think I described Mothman's appearance too much in this. Again, he is like 7 foot tall. He's like great. It's like moth on the top, like the moth face of that. And, like sometimes many people depict Mothman as either having like fur all over, like a moth, like no mouth, just fur and just the bright eyes popping out with antennas, and the physical human body of like a male body on the underneath. And then uses his wings as a cloak kind of thing to wrap around him. And then like when he wants to fly, his wings extend into these 10-foot spans. Got like his like abs. I don't know if he wears pants. Probably doesn't wear pants. And then like flaps and flies off into the wind. And so he's very fast.
Like wings.
I was gonna ask, but this is like, these are a different type of wing. Is it types of wing or is it just the concept of wings?
I really do. I think I don't like feathers a lot. Feathers, like feathery wings aren't great. Leathery wings are just like, I do think some wings aren't practical, just in general. Mothman wings, if it's the way where like he wrap around in like a cloak, like around themselves, and it shows that it's more flexible, or like butterfly wings sometimes like can be completely flat and not really extend out. So I think it's only -1 point. It's still impractical. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to deny
Even though he uses them as like the way a flasher would use a coat?
4.
This is a 2 for me. And it's because the concept of Mothman, I'm very down for. Very mysterious. End of the world. No problem. I don't like ice. I don't like bug eyes.
Damn.
I feel like he'd be very cute, like far away, like, oh, what's that bug? And it's like a 7 foot tall man with, with red eyes. Also, trypophobia.
You got this. I believe in you.
The lots of holes I struggle with.
That's fair.
Mothman doesn't have holes. Oh wait, no.
But it's like the
eyes. Yeah.
The clustered. Yeah.
Gotcha. Very fair.
I think that, I mean, there is my penchant, my love of half humanoid, half animal. That's like really coming in strong. Ooh, baby, that engine is revving. From. Yeah, like the flapping of moth wings. I like wings, actually. I really do. So that's another point. The eyeballs, I would just have to keep my eyes closed when I was close to him. Like, I could do it in bursts, but like, in moments of like, I couldn't gaze into his eyes. I couldn't have a romantic sunset moment and gaze into Mothman's eyes as we kiss. And I'm not like that is not a condition that I have, but I'm like walking myself through this. I think I'm going to give it a 6.
I'm going to up my answer to a 5 just for, I really like bugs. I think bugs are cool. And so it would be remiss of me if I didn't add that factor up there.
Yeah.
The flasher coat thing did knock so many top plus wing.
Y'all, Audacity.
This is pretty audacious.
This is fucking audacious. You are throwing yourself in the hearts of disaster. You are the salmon swimming against the school. People are running away. This is fucking audacious. This is a 2 because I already used my 1. This is a 2.
This is a 2.
This is a 2.
This is a 2.
This is a 2. I am so scared. Before we get into parental approval, I'm so scared if this ranks lower than Baphomet out of all the shit I just talked. After all the shit I just fucking talked, if this ranks lower than Baphomet, I swear to God, the ending of the show is going to be something. I'm going to put that into the energy right now. I don't want to drink this. I'm knocking on wood. Don't change your scores to make it lower. I'm going to say that don't do this, everybody.
No. I'm just saying, mathematically, it's looking a little grim.
I'm so fucking scared. All right.
Well, I mean, the next one's real bad for you.
Fuck me. Parental approval. If Mothman could walk to the front door and meet our Christian immigrant parents, would they still approve?
No way in hell.
No.
First of all, it's a man.
Yeah, so it's already a -5.
It's a bug. And it's a bug that harbinges disaster.
My mom hates bugs, and
My mom hates bugs.
This is a
too.
creature from Revelations.
Yeah, because like especially if we are carrying through with Joe's thought process, and all cryptids, maybe not all, but some cryptids are just supposed to be like the 4 horsemen. This is the worst one. This is apocalypse.
No, this would be. No, this wouldn't be war. It might be famine. It would be death. Yeah, this would be death.
Not war. Maybe not famine. Yeah, probably death. Yeah.
There's no way.
I'll give this a 3, but this is a 3.
What are the wins?
So I can long distance.
You know what? He is a shut-in. He's a shut-in.
I don't think he ever really wants to meet my parents. We could always just do this long distance Discord conversation, FaceTime. They just hear his voice. He would just be like, "Yeah, I work at festivals. I help organize a festival from my neighborhood, or I Twitch stream. I'm a gamer." And they will also be like, "I don't approve of your gamer boyfriend," and they'll be like, "We sell his piss water online." So,
and he also he does like volunteers, like he sets up like electric forests and EDC, and people are gonna be like,
he flies out, like he really does, like he does like natural, like he does earthquake watching, and like he's a
storm chaser. No.
3. My dad actually loves storms. That's actually takes him. That's it. My dad loves storms. He watches the Weather Channel religiously. He actually sits there and just watches the Weather Channel. It's something he likes to do. Joe?
That's incredible. This is I don't want to give anything a 1, but I think there's no point in even giving it a 1.5. I think this is my 1.
Damn.
Liv?
I already used my 1. And I feel like giving it a 1.5 is cheating the system, because it's still a 1 in spirit.
You gave something a 0.5 earlier today.
I was a 7.5.
It's a 7.5. But I feel like saying a 1.5 is a cheap way around I only have a 1 rule.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to play fair by fucking up everything. I'm going to give it a 2, because even if I was like, no, he's busy all the time, like he works and he travels the world and everything. If my parents were like, well, okay, you two have come back from whatever shit you were doing over in this other country, can we please see him? Like, I'm gonna run out of excuses, and eventually I'm gonna have to come clean. And when I come clean, my mom didn't talk to me for a week after I pierced my nose. You think I'm gonna survive this shit? Absolutely not. We're fine now. We're fine. She thinks I'm very cute with my nose piercing, and she's right.
She's right.
Well, lying is the basis of all relationships.
Everything.
With that, we're gonna go off to our overall scores. I'm so scared. Let's pause for math. Okay, Joe, can you read out the overall scores, or the scores for everybody, please?
Yeah, not only am I going to do the overall scores for Mothman, I'm going to just do the overall scores in general for us today. All right, everybody ready?
Oh my God.
Everybody, okay. Cleric's overall scores for Mothman is a 3.3.
Okay, that's not bad.
My overall scores for Mothman is a 2. Liv's overall scores for Mothman is a 2.8.
No.
All together, at the top, Hatman has a 6.1 overall score.
Which, makes sense. We have the we have the suit that makes him look very dapper, very more accessible. You can really put anything to the face. So I understand, like a faceless, you can put your own face there. Understandable, understandable score.
Okay. Goatman, second, has a 5.1.
Let's go, baby.
It's just above average, a little bit more accessible, a little less accessible than Hatman, but still, there, and kind of hot.
Rockin' bod. So attractive, so hot.
As a reminder, from episode 2, Baphomet has a 2.9. Episode 1, 2.9. That is what we are referring to at this moment. And as another reminder, in episode 9, Dragon D's Nuts, Cleric got the highest monster, an 8.3 for the Crystal Dragon.
Don't do this to me. I talked so much shit this episode. I talked so much shit.
Baphomet was my choice.
I talked so much
and
shit.
I deserve that. Certainly Demon Prince deserves a 2.9.
I talked so much shit.
Absolutely.
I talked so
The
much
overall
shit.
score for Cleric's choice of this episode of the Cryptid Cuties
I talked
Mothman
so much shit.
has a 2.7.
Fuck me! I talked so much shit. I got talked so much shit.
Did Cleric in MFA history get the highest scoring monster? Who got the lowest scoring?
I talked so much shit. Are you fucking kidding me? I both am writing I got fucking
Cleric, our bisexual switch icon, topping and bottoming. Incredible.
Yeah,
the range.
I talked so much shit. I can never recover from this.
Your brand will never recover.
I will never financially recover from this mistake. This would be, you know what? This wouldn't be as bad if I didn't talk so much shit during the episode. During the episode, I brought it up 3 times, and I've never. Oh my god! Oh my god!
This is karma. This is the universe coming back to you. You need to take this. You need to heal. You need to reestablish. You need to rebuild.
I talked so much shit.
What did I say at the beginning? I said I was coming in to ruin the averages, and god damn it, I did.
So, as Cleric is mourning his career, Liv, can you tell us what projects that you are currently on and doing?
Yes, hi. My name is Liv. You can follow me on Twitter at liveinaday. I'm your best girl, ruiner of averages, and the cutest person that you know. You can find me on various streaming channels, just being a menace in TTRPG form. On Mondays, I'm over on Total Party Chill, where with Under the Table, which is a stream where we try out different systems, basically anything that doesn't use a D20 and is focused on fantasy. On Tuesdays, I do the exact opposite over on Rule of Lore, where we play a all queer LGBTQIA plus Dragon Deep game called Into Deep, Be Gay, Do Heists. And then you can catch my episodes of Parliament of Owls over on Q Time's YouTube channel, which is a Pathfinder's 2nd edition evil campaign. You can hear my voice on Super Idols RPG. You can also hear my voice on Clearfield Pod, where I play Redacted, because my character hasn't been revealed yet. And eventually, the new project that I'm working on, that I'm very excited to be working on it with, former guest of the show, CJ, I will be on Strix U, which is an all-Black HBCU-inspired Strixhaven campaign, where I will be playing a bard, College of Spirits, who is essentially that girl who, sold you crystals and read tarot readings in college.
Cleric, as your morning, should I just do my stuff, or what's up? Okay, cool. I've been Joe, or Josephine. I'm at Scary Dog Friend on Twitter and TikTok. You can find me on lots of new projects. Every Wednesday, I am over on Girls Run These Worlds for the campaign Roll for Luck. I'm also every other Wednesday on Starlight Tales on Dead Zone, where that is a cosmic horror D&D campaign. Starting May 26th, will be a weekly on Thursdays all Asian D&D campaign over at Going Crit RPG. And just yesterday, over on Bards and Brews, I was playing Mothership with Scary. Oh, not that's me. We were playing with Stray Nerd Boy, Ibrahim, and Kendo, amazing, wonderful friends, making sci-fi horror. So every other Friday, I believe, we will be playing Mothership, and it has been an amazing ride so far. So definitely check me out and all those things. Cleric, are you emotionally available?
How's your head? How's your heart?
So, needless to say, I'm pretty pumped.
Cleric just smashed a can against his head.
The Josie Devil, is that you?
My closing thoughts for this episode, sometimes, talk shit, get hit. And I've been emotionally hit today because I talked a lot of shit. I got some projects in the work. They're still in super beta stuff, so I can't announce anything. But please do support us on Ko-fi. We'll shout you out at the top of the show. We really do help. You help decide what's going to be coming next, depending on streams and stuff like that. Thank you, Liv, so much for joining us. It's been a great time to have you. Genuinely.
Thank you so much for having me. I can't wait to be back.
All right, everybody, let's wrap up this episode with one of the loudest. I'll wrap up this episode with my own by Baphomet. Actually, here's what I'll say. To finish off this episode, sometimes you do need to get humbled. So, to everyone who supports Baphomet, I am sorry. Sorry that y'all a bunch of bitches. I ain't never apologizing for shit in the episode.
Bye.